Hey, brothers and sisters on the healing path. I'm Scott Giles, board-certified diplomate of the National Guild of Hypnotists. A basic part of my method is to study the people who beat the odds or who are highly resilient, whether physically, emotionally, mentally, or spiritually. These people typically are engaged in behaviors that are really adaptive and help them be the best people that they can be. When you change your emotional baseline, one of the things you're changing is your biochemistry. Feelings, in addition to everything else they are biochemical states in your body. And when you feel a certain way, you are putting chemicals into your body just as surely as if you had taken a syringe and injected them or taken them in pill form. Some of these chemicals benefit you, benefit your resilience. Others inhibit it. So you want to live your life in such a way that you do behaviors that create the biochemical circumstances in your body that most favor resilience. And that's what I'm all about. Manipulative people. They're bad news, and we all have them in our lives. They can suck the energy right out of you and victimize you without your even being aware of it. When we look at people who handle the manipulative people in their life really, really well, what we typically find is that they engage in certain strategies that are highly effective. The strategies that seem to work the best are a combination of boundary setting and avoidance. Boundary setting means when you are dealing with such a person, you set a limit. I don't want to talk about that right now, or this isn't a good time to talk, or that topic doesn't appeal to me. Don't explain yourself. If you explain yourself, you're just giving them fuel they can use to get around whatever boundary you're setting. You simply state that I don't wish to engage on this topic and stop talking at that point. Now, a number of people will, in fact, when you set a limit, set a boundary, they'll obey it. They'll respect it. Not all, and some of them will come back later and try to push again, but some of them will, in fact, do the right thing. And that's great. If they don't, if they keep on pushing, if they keep on trying to manipulate you, really the only strategy that works at that circumstance is to avoid them. Set a limit in terms of how much time you spend with them. Don't go to events where they're going to be present. Block them on email, or don't take their phone calls. Let everything go to voicemail. But you manage the communication in such a way that you minimize your contact with them and therefore minimize the amount of manipulation they have an opportunity to do. What doesn't work is to argue with them or to try to explain yourself. If you don't need their permission to be able to set a limit. And if you try to get that, all that happens is you end up giving them fuel they can use to argue with you more or try to get around your limit. So argument doesn't work, and what also doesn't work is just trying to ignore them, because they'll keep pushing. So that's what tends to work. When we work hypnotically with people, we're able to train them to do this automatically without having to think about it, but it's okay if you need to think about it. Often the best thing to do when you realize that someone's trying to manipulate you is to buy some time. Let me get back to you on that. And then you sit down with your journal, or you meditate, or you think, and you figure out how you're going to reestablish limits and keep the locus of control in your life in you. So that's how it's done. Best thing it works. Best thing we find about this technique is it does work really, really well, and I recommend it to you. Take care. And as always, if you like this video, hit the like button, and please feel free to subscribe.